Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I am your host, GameChanger. This one is going to be for the replay crew because I have another show to do today and I just want to get this out there while it's still fresh in my head. So I was watching Chantel Simone and she covered an episode of Ask Ashley, and there was a lot. I actually didn't watch the whole thing because the moment I seen it, the moment I seen like the beginning of it, or maybe like halfway through it, I'm like, all right, I want to share my response with everybody. So I went to the Ask Ashley thing show, looked it up, and here I am, deciding to cover it with you last minute because stuff like this is interesting to me. So apparently, a young 21-year-old PYT decided to go online because she had a question for Ashley. I don't know exactly what that question is, but she had it, and she went on to express her love for her prison dude, and also to talk about how the non-prison dudes, how he's better than the non-prison dudes. Now, it's funny to me for a number of reasons, because when I hear squares, and when I say squares, I'm talking about you, but I'm including myself in the square category, I guess. Um, because in the black community we have a warped definition of square, and I think that the definition of square is anybody that's not a thug, because we're stupid like that. But I'm going to put myself in that category. There's a lot of dudes that complain, like, oh, Pookie's getting all the girls and blah 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 blah, and then I'm like, do y'all ever look at the girls Pookie get? I do want. I really, really think that. Don't get me wrong. I get it if you don't actually see what's going on in real life. And if you look at the movies like Baby Boy, I would be upset. I would be upset. I would, that when old girl with the cornrows, dang, she looked bad. She definitely had her day. I would be upset, but I don't really see it going down like that in real life. And even in the movie Baby Boy, Tyrese Gibson was like a male model at the time. So it's not like, I'm pretty sure that male models square no matter what, they just got it like that. That's like handsome privilege that exists. So, but in real life, it seems like there's a deficit in a woman's favor as far as looks go, meaning that the woman is far less pretty than the guy is handsome in almost all Pookie relationships. And that spans all races and ethnicities. So there really isn't anything that, first of all, you shouldn't be jealous like that. But second of all, even if you are a person of a jealous nature, you're barking up the wrong bush with that. Just saying. It's really kind of strange. Uh, so when I seen this, I'm like, this is a perfect example of what you do. This whole educated lane, Pookie, everything. Like, is this what y'all fighting over? And here, let me show you what I mean when I say this. Is this what you're fighting over? I'm talking about the one on the left or on the right, but I mean, really either. Like, do you really care? Why are you looking at the next man's plate? Why you? Oh crap! Very interesting. I'm gonna play some more. I'm gonna play this because I want to get to the bottom of this. She is just a grinning. She is just a chinning and a grinning. Oh wait, somebody has a comment. Let's see. Let's see. Real squares quit caring and go their way. Is too much opportunity and money to be made out here. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I'm 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 wondering about a lot of the squares that's making these complaints. I'm wondering if something else is going on.
So how do we have time for a guy with 3 jobs?
He's in prison. That's how.
Oh.
A little bit while being in prison, I'm back attracted to him. I used to be attracted to him. He fine, Ashley. He's so fine. But
So you want to be with him because he's. Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm great. I just started a new job.
Ariane, I'm like, it's always the Wi-Fi. What's going on, Ariane? The Wi-Fi don't want us to be great ever.
It's hating on me every time, Miss Ashley. Every time.
It's nice.
I've been talking to this dude for
potentially all platforms.
Yes, ma'am.
You just got a new job. Oh wow, 3 jobs. So how do we?
Okay, stopping right there. It really, what she's saying is that she's not actually employed like that, but she's trying to put it in the best light possible. I have 3 jobs. Yeah, DoorDash, Uber, and Lyft. I mean, you don't have 3 full-time jobs. That's for certain. What, you literally work 24 hours a day? Oh, I have 3 8-hour shifts. No, you don't have 3 full-time jobs. Once again, she's taking a bad circumstances and trying to paint it in the best light.
Okay, you're working, you're moving and shaking, and that's good because that's gonna help you grow.
21. I'll be 22 this year.
So good. You're filling up your
cruise.
Okay, all right, good.
So that weight loss advice, I've lost 7.5 pounds. Have we talked?
I don't congratulate that. But furthermore, you shouldn't be counting halves. At your weight, a half a pound is not an accomplishment. You don't measure in that. That is not a significant figure. For those of you who don't know what a significant figure is, it's the amount past the decimal point that is relevant to a number. So if somebody says, okay, take, for example, like Listerine. Listerine kills 99.9% of germs, meaning that that's the most significant. Now, it might kill 99.99% of germs, but they really don't feel the need to, mention anything after the first 9. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because at your weight, the half pound is not significant. And really, to be quite frank, the 7 isn't significant either. You need to only mention weight loss in increments of 10. And you round down. So if ever you lose 15 pounds, you need to say, I lost 10 pounds. If you lose 23 pounds, you say, I lost 20 pounds. If you lose 39 pounds, you say, I lost 30 pounds. The only figure that should be, so because we're rounding down, at 7, you lost 0 pounds. You lost 0 pounds from a standpoint. At your weight, you need to be rounding down. You know who mentions that they lost 7.5 pounds? Women who weigh like 97.5 pounds. and then they get down to 90. Those are the ones. Why? Because it's a higher percentage of her overall being. For you, 7.5 pounds is like, like 2 elbows and a knee. It's not a significant amount to mention.
Thank you. I went and seen my nutritionist finally. So I'm on a calorie deficit.
How long have you been on a calorie deficit? Don't praise somebody when they are in the process of doing something. You praise them when they complete a process.
So since being on the calorie deficit and seeing my nutritionist, I cruised in the summer to Ensenada, Mexico. Yes.
Okay, so how do we, and you're about to tell me about a guy. So how do we have time for a guy with 3 jobs?
He's in prison. That's how.
Okay. I think that this Ashley woman, really needs to inquire about the jobs, but I think that she don't really know, or she just is being polite. But yeah.
Yeah, I've been talking to him for.
Also, notice how the question was phrased. How do you have time for a job? Or how do you have time for a man with 3 jobs when you have 3 jobs? Meaning that the first priority is jobs. The second priority is a man. Because she would have said it the other way around. Like, how do you have time for 3 jobs if you have a man? Subtleties, people. Subtleties. Hit the like button.
A year and 3 months. So it's getting a little more serious. He proposed to me over the phone. I told him to wait until he got out, because he gets out this October. So
he's getting out next month.
Ariana, why can't we find someone in the... Okay, so you're 21. You have your whole life ahead of you. And I do understand that women operate different than men, right? Sometimes a woman, and this goes before... Please, ladies, please stop, ladies. Women can... Someone telling you they love you, they're giving you attention. I do understand that. But to be so young, I think the world is your oyster. If you decide to level...
Y'all let me know when it start lagging. That way I'll stop and act accordingly. But anyway, what was I going to say about it? Look at, the interesting thing about this is that she hasn't asked a question yet. It seemed like she just went on the show just to get attention for her relationship. And I think that that's really one of the main reasons why she's in this relationship, is just for something to talk about. But she don't really have anybody that likes her as a person. So she goes on this show just to talk about this. Like, oh yeah, I'm seeing somebody in prison. Let's talk about that. I'm an interesting person. Oh crap. Okay.
Up, get yourself together, work on your physical and mental health.
I'm glad she said physical first.
I think you can find someone, Ariana.
Criticism about her. Well, she did. She did say work on your physical self. So I got to say that.
I don't doubt that I can. Honestly, I would well have rather found someone like through church, because I'm super heavy in my religion. I go
I'm super heavy in my religion. Okay. Okay. Good save.
to Bible study every week, Wednesday. I'm within my church, but there's not the guys that are at my church. I've seen them all. I've been seeing them all. I grew up with them, so they're not really
But
my
Ariane,
cup
he's
of
in
tea.
prison. That's the polar opposite.
That doesn't make any sense. I really want to find a guy in church. The guys in my church isn't my cup of tea. So you don't want to find a guy in church. Okay. Here's the thing about modern women's sisterhood, whatever you want to call it. They lie as a default. They lie, and it's not even strategic when they do it. They feel that all lies are some way strategic. So, and that's because they just want to throw people off base in dealing with them. But it's like, I want to find a guy in my church, but I don't like the guys in my church. Then you don't want to find a guy in your church. That's the stupidest thing. Oh gosh. And she is just a grinning. Like you could just open up her head and take cookies out of her neck. She looks like an old-timey cookie jar. Gosh, this is annoying. And the hair, it looks like she spray painted some pom-poms and put it up top her head. This is bad.
That is the polar opposite.
I don't finance him or any deal with him. Like I don't send him any money. He has like
that no one asked that. No one asked that. She just wants to talk about her relationship. And she just threw that. Who said that you send them money?
a job. So he works in the fire camp department. So
he's in prison. What are you talking about to support himself? They give you food and a place to live. 3 hots and a cot. Like, holy crap. I mean, that's good that he could buy his own Snickers from time to time. That's good. That's good that he can, purchase a new pair of drawers, once every 3 months. That's good. I mean, he supports himself. Holy crap. This is
myself. I knew him when he was free. And so now that he's grown up a little bit while being in prison, I'm back attracted to him. I used to be attracted to him. He's fine, Ashley. He's so fine.
Okay. When did you stop being attracted to him? I used to be attracted to him, and now I got back attracted to him. Now that he's in prison and he's grown up. Listen, here's what's really going on. You wanted him back in the day and he didn't want you. But now that he's in prison, he wants you because he's in prison. You're the hottest thing out there to a prisoner. So, you know how some brothers in this space talk about winter is coming? And that's the day that they're hoping for, that due to an economic turmoil that only affects women, that the women will become desperate and they are going to come to the table. Going to prison is the winter is coming for men. That's how women see it. Women like, listen, I know that there's no competition at this point. So yes, winter has come for you, and you want to know what keeps you warm in the winter? A fat chick.
But
So you want to
but
be
yeah,
with him because he's fine. That's it, Ariana.
I want to be.
And I'm being light chat. Hold on. Let me say this to the chat. I'm being light on Ariane because she's 21. Ariane is 21 years old. She doesn't have a 30-year-old mind.
30-year-old mind is the same as a 21-year-old mind. To work under the assumption that women like this mature past 17 is ludicrous. To work with the mind that women like this are going to mature is ridiculous.
So I think she is mature. I think you've been through a lot in your life. I'm going to say that. I think you've been through a lot of like traumatic situations. So I think that has made you a little bit more mature. So
She has not been through any traumatic situations, nor is she mature. What are you saying? I swear, black women, this is.
give you that. I think you know better, but I do understand that you're still operating as a 21-year-old. With that said, looks are not enough. Because if you get pregnant and you decide to have a baby, whether you're married or not, do you know if he can go out and change your life around? But what will that look like for your children? Hypothetically, you decide to have a baby with him.
Yeah, I get that, and I was that's why when in the beginning I wasn't really into him like that, but then I learned more.
Okay, listen to what she's saying. She lies a lot, and the host isn't catching it because the host is familiar with this style of lying. He was fine years ago, but then I got re-interested in him. Well, when I first met him, I wasn't interested in him like that. There's a lot of lies being told here. There's a lot of lies being told here. See how freely and fluidly these lies just come out of these women's mouth?
And so I kind of got a different mindset on after my dad was in jail when right before meeting my mom. And she was college driven, had multiple jobs, very independent. She moved out to the city that they met in by herself. And so like it just kind of gave me a different perspective, jail or prison or otherwise. Like I looked at his cases and stuff, and it was nothing against women. So I was like, okay, you're not like your target for doing not so good things is not innocent women, innocent children. It's like you and a dude who both signed up for what you guys got going on. And so
yeah, but I think a part of
okay. So criminality is okay as long as you do it against other criminals. Now, this is not making sense at all as far as what he did and the type of criminal he is, because there's no money in like criminal activity against other criminals. At some point, the criminals that you are preying upon has to prey on somebody else. Somebody has to make a legitimate dollar for these guys to steal. You see where I'm going with this? Somebody has to make a legitimate dollar for them to steal. So say if you're that guy that robs people, who robs people, like you Omar of the hood, you're still benefiting from someone who's benefiting from a person who's not committing crimes. Lions don't eat lions, or any other predator that I could think of. So yeah, it's she's basically saying as long as he's not hurting me, I really don't care if he's a true menace to society. And that's the thinking behind the characters in Menace to Society. Hit the like button.
You know, a part of growing up and looking at your parents' past, whether it's good or bad, right? It's so
Super
we
good.
can
They've been married. They hang out every day. My dad.
You're not. I'm not attacking your parents,
No. I understand.
Not at all. Yes, but I'm sure they want you to do better than they did. That's what I'm saying. He's like, you know what? Let's racial curse. I want you to get the guy who's in college, who's a quote unquote.
Okay, so I didn't see this part before. And for those of you who just got here, hit the like button. But I said something earlier that in the Black community, particularly because of Black women, every guy who's not a thug is a square. Now, other communities like the white communities, they have like completely different categories of guys. It isn't just two. It isn't just thug or square. You know, they have, for example, take Fonzarelli from the old show called Happy Days. Now, he wasn't a thug per se, but he wasn't a square either. You know, there's a category of the motorcycle guy. There's a category of the golf guy. There's a category of the athlete. You know, there's all kinds of categories. Not just either you're a thug or you're a square. Squares are people who are not in prison. It's that type of limited stupidity that have them looking like this. Uh-oh, somebody has something to say. Okay, let me respond. Hey, you all. Nobody care. We got bigger fish to fry. I fried a fish that I damn well please. Understand that. Sometimes I want to fry a little fish, and that's my damn business.
Nerdy guy. He probably wants to change the cycle.
Okay, dear Black women, not every Black man who's in college is a nerd. I know because in college, I was a nerd. I mean, I'm still a nerd. I'm just not in college. Stupid. Just stupid. And this is the one that they go to for advice. And this is, and they wonder why NBA and NFL players aren't checking for them as much as they would like to be checked for. Because they grew up in the only community in the world that calls athletes nerds for being in college. They're just stupid. Plumb stupid.
Was a square, and it just.
I don't the square, the good guy. Why not?
He is a narcissist, and
Black women say narcissist like Smurfs say Smurf. And really, it's it's revealing their narcissism because, if you break down the base definition of narcissism is somebody who's hyper involved with themselves. A person who's always calling somebody else a narcissist means that they are concerned that that person is not hyper focused on them as they are hyper focused on themselves. It's weird, but he's a narcissist. Holy crap. Okay.
He was very degrading, and that when I was in college and I was seeing the college dudes every day, they were also very mentally
Entitled, huh? To simple minded people, any form of self improvement, including college, would be considered narcissism because you're focused on yourself to improve yourself. So I guess the only narcissists in the world are the people who don't improve in life. And I'm not even talking about the guys in prison. In fact, one could even argue that many crimes is a form of narcissism because, it's and once again, I'm using a very loose black women definition of narcissism. But I mean, to commit a crime against somebody is like, me having this money is more important than you having this money. Like if I was to snatch somebody's purse, it's because I believe that I'm more important and I deserve your money more than you deserve your money. But go on. Guys in college are narcissists. They're demanding. So this is telling because what she's saying is Pookie has no demands. And that's the real appeal. So all you guys that whine like Pookie's getting all the girl, like, listen, they're going to Pookie because he has no standards. She is admitting it. Oh, college guy have demands. That's like me saying Harvard has demands. Or that's like high school me saying, oh, I don't like Harvard because it has demands. It's like, no, Harvard demanded that I don't go there. Like, that's what a standard is. It's not that you didn't want Harvard. It's that Harvard didn't want you. And it's not that these squares are demanding, or well, it is because they're demanding, but they have standards that you don't meet. Keep it a buck. And of course, a guy in college where it's like 60% female, all of whom are young, of course, he's going to have higher standards than a man in prison. Of course, a guy like, so college student, what did you do this weekend? Oh, well, I went to this Delta party, on Friday, and it was a lot of baddies there, and then on Saturday I went to an AKA joint, and it was cool. It was cool, so I definitely know what I want. Ask the prison guy. So, what did you do last weekend? Well, it was finally my turn in the shower, and man, I mean, I'm not gay or nothing, but I did find myself staring. I was staring a little bit. The prison guard, she didn't shave her mustache, but still, she has a vagina. And then I watched an old episode of Friends, and I was thinking that Phoebe can get it. That is their life. Of course, they have lower standards. They have fewer options just in proximity. You are dealing with men that jack off to episodes of Golden Girls. Of course, they're going. Of course. Oh, crap. All right, let's continue.
It wasn't the kind of relationship that I was seeing in my parents. So I just was like, this is not what I want to do, even though he was fine to And he worked out and he encouraged.
Does it is buffering. But what she was saying was that he worked out and he's encouraged me to work out. So when I first started my channel, I had this debate with someone. And yeah, it's and that debate was, should men get with fat women and then help them get in shape? And the answer to that is an emphatic no. That to assume that, for one, she would be with you after she gets in shape is really poor. And for two, um, that once getting with you, meaning that she already got what she wants, that she would be motivated to get in shape, is an emphatic no. You've already proven to her that you accept her as a fat chick. So apparently this guy did. And let's see the result.
You. And he worked out, say, encouraging me to work out. We're not so like lift you up. He told me that I couldn't be his girlfriend until I lost 100 pounds.
Okay. Let's be clear. And this is the life of a fat chick. This was not your boyfriend. Once again, habitual liar. Actually, I'm going to go further and say permanent liar. Because habitual implies that you do something out of habit. However, your default is the other thing. I'm going to say, okay, for example, gorillas habitually walk with their legs and not their arms. Meaning, out of habit, they'll walk without their hands touching the ground, but their default is to walk with all fours. Not like other animals, but you know what I mean. They're walking with their knuckles on the ground. So they are habitually bipedal. Humans are permanently bipedal, meaning we default by walking on two legs. She is a permanent liar. That dude was not her boyfriend. If he said, once you lose 100 pounds, you could be my girlfriend, and you didn't lose the 100 pounds, then he was not your boyfriend. But you said, oh, I had a boyfriend that, we got together, but I wasn't interested because he's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. No, you didn't. Basically, you found a square, and it's funny that the squares are the ones with the standards, but you found a square with standards. You offered him some good. He said, lose 100 pounds, then come see me. Basically, he told you to your fat face. He told you to your face, I'd smash if you lose 100 pounds. And you went out and lost 7 and gave up. That's you. That is your love life. Hit the like button.
Told me that I was condoning obesity because I told him that I loved myself, that if I had one leg, like if that's the way.
I love myself. Now, remember when she first started this, I lost 7.5 pounds. Hercules, Hercules. Remember that? I love myself. Wait a minute. Are you on a weight loss journey or not? Because apparently he was encouraging you to do the thing that you're doing anyway. So what's going on in your brain? Once again, there's another lie in there. I mean, the lie could be that she didn't actually lose 7.5 pounds. And she's not on a serious weight loss journey. She just likes telling people that she is. She tells people that, hey, I'm losing weight. She probably told that guy, like, yeah, I'm losing weight. And he said, okay, well, lose 100 of those weights. And then, we could talk. Or I could talk. Your mouth would be busy with my penis in it. Like he could say that. And that's what happened. He was my boyfriend. The only man that you got to get your attention, to give you attention, that you classify as boyfriend, was a dude that said that lose 100 pounds and you could get the D. See, Common was not Jennifer Hudson's boyfriend when Jennifer Hudson was fat. He's like, okay, if I just so happen to still be single, when you lose 100 pounds, then yeah, you could get it. And I think that that's a perfectly reasonable thing to say. Now, have I ever said something like that? I don't remember saying anything like that. And that's because I don't know what they would look like when they're 100 pounds lighter. Have I gotten with women who lost weight? Absolutely. But I know what they look like. To me, I don't look at an overweight chick and wonder what she looks like slim. I don't. I don't assume that she'll be beautiful slim. And and that is the case. Like someone like Layla Rashawn who gained weight due to a thyroid disorder, I know that underneath all that is a very attractive woman. But I don't know that with everyone. I don't know if she'd be attractive if she lost weight.
That Jesus made me, I'm okay.
So he was just talking. He didn't have the way he spoke, guys, or all nerdy guys.
This chick Ashley. First of all, I don't like these fake Kevin Samuels broads. Let's start there. I don't like the women who took Kevin Samuels' format and making money off of him, like Kendra G. Excuse me. I don't like that. Like, ooh, Kevin Samuels have this show where women call in and I judge them. I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to be as judgy because I'm a woman as well.
Guys are like that. We can't say every good guy is like that. That's not a fair assessment, right?
Yeah, and the one before that, because I dealt with I'm a square girl, so my.
And another thing, this chick, she's like, she just used the words square and nerdy, like they're the same word. Like they're synonymous with each other. What's going on, J-Bay?
Immediate attraction was to square guys. That's why I said I would love to find somebody in church. But I don't know if it's my demeanor or whatever. It's just not been too with the people that I meet in day-to-day life. They're like,
I don't know if it's my demeanor. He told you it's your weight. So a quote unquote square guy that you were attracted to told you that you can get it if you lose 100 pounds. And then your response now is, I don't know why square guys don't like me. You're stupid. That's why. You're stupid. I'm a square too. No, you're a round. You are round. You're not square, you're round. This is unbelievable.
users. So the one
But
before
what I
that,
feel like you need to do,
had
Ariane, is
anger
I feel like you need to focus on you right now. That's what I feel like. You need to focus on you. When I say level up, I'm not just talking about a physical level up, but mental level up.
No, it's physical. It's primarily physical. Now, physical is a clear indicator of mental, because you can see all the mental stuff that she has going on with her. The way that she lies to us is the way that she lies to herself, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because women like this, they have to lie to convince themselves that there's nothing wrong, meaning that there's mental issues. But because all women have mental issues, I would prefer the not fat one.
And then when you get to the place where you feel confident and where you need to be, that's when things will change in your life.
okay. You know, I'm always listening to you, Ashley. By the next time you see me, I'll be like, and I left him. I
Oh,
don't talk
I'm
to him
just saying,
anymore.
I
He
get it. You're
decided
young. He's saying,
holy crap. First of all, I don't even know. Now that I think about it, if she's 21, I don't even know what happened in college. Like, did she graduate early or what? Um, but it does seem like you're a college girl with no friends, and you call Ashley for attention, looking for stuff to say. Um, and now she's talking about she's going to leave her boyfriend. Like, she's already preparing to leave this guy. And of course she's going to, leave him the moment he gets out of prison. Because then it's like less of a story to tell and blah, 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 blah. She's going to find something. I don't like that cologne. Uh, so years ago, I had my friend on this show. He's not, he's not going to mind me saying this about so what happened was I was live streaming and I was on the stream so long that him and his family came over for some barbecue because I was gonna barbecue that day. But like I was streaming so long that it ran into my barbecue time. So I put him on the show while I hit the grill. And so he was talking to the audience. So that same guy actually uttered those words to me. And I could bring it back on the show one day because he tried to hook me up with a biggin. This was before I knew him and he knew me very well. But those were his exact words. Like, pussy is pussy. Like, oh, um, nah, that's like somebody saying food is food. Now in prison, food is food. Actually, not even in prison. I mean, like they know the difference between, they might not have like the sophisticated um palate that us free people have, but they do know the difference between, they do take time out to season their ramen noodles. So they do know when is the Salisbury steak day, or when is the cheeseburger day. Like, ooh, this prison got cheeseburgers on Wednesdays. They do they do have like a hierarchy of food even in there. But that whole take what you can get mentality is prevalent in prison. Quick story. I was visiting a family member who was locked up, right? Years back. And what they do, and I'm not going to say where he was locked up, but what they do in his particular prison is you got to come, well, you don't have to, but you can bring them money for the vending machine. Not really giving it to them. You just put that on their books, um, but they'll tell you, the person who's incarcerated will tell you to bring some change, as much as you can, up to $40. Put it in a clear Ziploc bag, so when we get there, we can eat at the vending machine. So I did just that, right? And you have to go get it for him. So I got him some of the snacks that he wanted, and then I got myself a Milky Way bar. Right? I opened up the Milky Way bar. It was old as I don't know what. I was like, damn, how long this Milky Way been in the machine? You know what this dude said? He said, do you know what they feed us in here? He said, do you know what you complaining about a Milky Way? Do you know what they feed us in here? And I'm not going to get into like the disgusting details, but I do know that I never want to go to prison. That is for them. Like once he said that, of course I didn't want to go like prior to that, but I was like, wait, they actually give that to humans? Was my response. That Milky Way tasted a lot better. So yes, prison dudes are going to have lower standards for everything because they don't have a free abundance of a fresh Target bought Milky Way that I put in the microwave for 7 seconds and eat it with a fork. They can't do that anytime they want to. They can't. They eat the crap in prison and call it food and get excited when the chocolate was like ashy. And it cracked. It didn't bend. It cracked a little bit. Y'all know it, old chocolate. It's nasty. It's nasty. Imagine if I found a Milky Way like right now from last Halloween. That's what it looked like. Yeah. So that's what you're dealing with. That is the standard of prison is going to diminish a man's standards. Do he eat like that when he's free? No.
A lot of sweet nothings. I'm not saying he doesn't like you. I'm not saying he doesn't care for you. But if I could tell you anything while you're 21 years old, is you do not need to settle. You could get someone out here who has never been to prison.
You do have to do that at 21 and fat. At 21 and fat, you do have to settle. You have to settle for guys that are not like me and for guys that say stuff like box is box. You do have to settle for those guys.
Too many options out here, especially at 21. No. That's my advice to you. Read the chat. The chat is saying don't settle.
I'm reading it.
Notice how women maintain their standards no matter what, but men always compromise. And she's saying you're 21. Now, granted, youth is an asset. However, that's her only asset. She has nothing else to offer that anybody wants. Nothing! Except a vagina when there's no other vaginas available. Hence prison.
I'm reading it, and I hear all the focusing on you. People thinking that I don't listen to you. They must not know. From the first time they don't know.
Oh my God.
I'm reading it.
God don't have anything. God don't like ugly, and he damn sure don't like fat. He kicked Eve out the garden for eating too damn much. Like, dang it. Listen, for the people of the world who think that God loves everybody equally, never met a blind, retarded person with a little penis. They just haven't. I haven't either, but I know they exist. And like, what the fuck happened to that person? If God loved you, you would be slim, pretty, and sucking the penis of somebody else that God loves. But you're not.
Something great for me. Thank you for that.
Yes.
So
I
yeah,
think you have a sweet spirit, and what I like about you, Ariane, is that you're open to criticism.
This chick got a lot of makeup on. A lot of makeup on.
I see you want to change. You take it in.
yeah.
Yes, you do. So that's what I do adore about you, right? So please listen to us, your internet aunties, cousins, uncles, friends. We want to see you do well. All right.
Lose weight.
Right?
Yeah.
Think about it, pray about it, journal about it. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Good
Wait,
night.
it's still 10 minutes. What the hell? Oh, Cortez Smith has something to say. Okay, so what time is it? Because I got another show at 1. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna do this for 30 more minutes, get something to eat, and then get ready for the next show. But check out the next show. The next show I'm bringing on Theo Waff. We're gonna talk about this. For those of you who are into tech and stuff like that, we're gonna talk about this H-1B tariff fee that exists now. Theo and I both work in the tech industry, and we've spoken on the issue of how H-1B affects American workers, the mentality that goes behind it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So for insight into that, we're definitely going to have that conversation at 1 PST, 4 Eastern. So stay tuned for that. What is she talking about now that this is over?
This is our best lived, you know. Some experience are best lived. And before you guys start,
I wasn't sneaking in creeping at 21 or 25 because I was and still am a grown man. Who am I sneaking around? Why is she talking about this 21-year-old like she's a teenager? Like, that's getting smashed out at lunchtime, between gym and home ec. Like, why is she pretending like this is not an adult? Okay.
doing things you had no business doing it. Maybe it wasn't a man. Maybe it was a cigarette. Maybe it was weed. Maybe it was sneaking out. Maybe it was wearing a snooty booty outfit outside. Maybe it was kissing boys. Maybe it was being fast. Maybe it wasn't doing your homework and having an attitude with your parents.
Yeah. So she's conflating 21-year-olds with 14, 15-year-olds. Doing your homework. Like, wait, what? Having an attitude with your parents. This is a grown woman. But you're treating her, you're literally, well, not literally using kid gloves, but you're literally treating her like she's a child. That's how old these broads are underneath the makeup. I don't know how old Ashley is. but her mentality is old. I mean, the fact that you're looking at a 21-year-old as if she's, a preteen really shows how far from 21 you are.
Maybe it was talking back. Maybe it was
Talking back to whom? She's grown and presumably out of the house. I mean, she has 3 jobs.
hiding, lying, sneaking, stealing. I'm just saying, you were doing something when you were younger. So please, with the judgments.
Hi.
Welcome, Nikki. Hi.
Holy shit.
Yesterday, I had to get on your line.
Oh crap. Okay, so I gotta share this image with y'all. Let me pull it up. But she does look like the image that I'm about to share with you. Hit the like button. I hate to do this, but it's the for those of you who don't know, I came up in the 80s. So a lot of the movie references that I talk about will be from that period, and some of you younger guys probably wouldn't know it. But nevertheless, this is from a classic movie called Gremlins Part 2, which was, less desired, as many sequels are. But this is what a female gremlin looks like. So I want y'all to take this image put it in your brain for a second. Actually, I hope she's not nice, because I kind of roasted before even knowing her personality. So I'm hoping she's not a pick me, and then I roasted in vain, So let's listen.
Immediately. First and foremost, Ashley, what you're doing is amazing.
Nope. I didn't roast in vain. That's good. We as women need to stick together. So she's sisterhood. So now I can roast in pride. Now I can roast with pride. Okay. I feel better. I feel vindicated.
And the community that we build, that you started, it's amazing. And also, before I continue, yes, I consent to be online in all social media. Yes, I'm not on a young.
Okay, hold on. Nikki, you're
I'm so sorry. Is this
okay? Perfect, perfect. We can hear you now.
okay? Sorry,
Okay.
y'all. Sorry, chat. Come for me. I'm sorry. And also, yes. Okay. So I feel like I need to level up in any sense.
Holy crap.
So to make a very long story short, the past couple of years have not been great. When COVID started, I was actually working 3 jobs, which
Oh, COVID is not the past couple years, sweetie. COVID was 5 years ago.
turned into 2 full-time jobs. It was honestly not bad for me. Like the 2020 to like 2022 year, my couch, it was great. Obviously, as you all know, the work to get back in the office. So unfortunately, I did have to end up leaving one of my jobs. So that being said, I got a new one with literally now half my income. I have a whole apartment.
Get to the point. Like, there's never a question. Like, this is Ask Ashley. Like, the last woman, she didn't even have a question. She just wanted to chit chat about her prison situation and get attention from it. Because they don't have anyone in life.
I'm by myself. I don't have no providers. I don't got no rich parents. Like, I'm putting myself down. So as you guys can imagine, having my income cut in half is literally draining, mentally, emotionally, is like draining. So I'm still currently in the same position. I'm literally slowly trying to pull myself out of it, but I feel like it stopped me from doing everything. Like, I didn't care about dating. I was in a release where I couldn't afford it. Stopped me from doing everything. Like, I couldn't go out with my friends since I was too busy calculating what would this cost and missing out on trips and experiences. And just for years, I felt like it's sort of.
By the way, somebody mentioned Obsidian and talking about, cuts and winter is coming and stuff like that. You're dealing with women that brings winter with them. Once again, they will make a way no matter how cold the winter is. You see the video. You got these chicks living in cars and all kind of stuff. They're not going to come to the table. Poverty is not going to, bring them to the table. And do you even want to negotiate with an impoverished woman who's just there like, okay. Now short guys are handsome. What kind of negotiation is that? Fuck you before and fuck you after. Rudolph is a bitch. There, I said it. I did a video on that years ago. Rudolph is a bitch. So for those of you who don't know the story of Rudolph, possibly because you're from a different religion or a different culture, Rudolph was a reindeer, one that's capable of flight. And his job annually was to be a part of a team of reindeer who pull the sleigh for Santa Claus. And then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say that Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you fly my sleigh tonight? So because he had a bright nose, it lit up the way so Santa Claus could see where he's going. Now, the thing about Rudolph was that afterwards it says, now all the reindeers loved him. And they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you'll go down in history. But so that's how it goes. The thing is that Rudolph should be like, nigga, fuck you. You wouldn't let me play in your reindeer games. Now that I got some clout from Santa Claus, now I'm the shit, huh? Now that winter has come, I'm the shit. My nose isn't too bright now, huh? You was talking mad shit when I was a dude with a red nose and I was a reindeer with a red nose and y'all wouldn't let me play the games. But now here you come begging because it's a foggy Christmas Eve. Fuck you. Fuck you and your reindeer games. Bitch, I'm Rudolph. That's how he should have acted. That's what he should have said. Punk ass reindeers coming like just because it's winter. Man, fuck you with some antlers. Anyway.
Drag me into that hole. And I felt like I was putting in the work, like almost every
Obsidian
chance I got. I was
is Rudolph. Obsidian is Rudolph. Obsidian is the one that's like, oh, now you love me. Now you love me. I'm not going to play these reindeers game with these bitches. Fuck your table.
For other jobs, trying to find other income, and it just didn't really work out really as I anticipated. So I feel like I sort of stayed recently. I just sort of started seeing a psychiatrist, so I feel like that's sort of helping, but I feel like I relate to you in a lot of ways, and I feel like you're very ambitious. And I just feel like if you were in my situation, like what would you do? I want to move on with my life. Like I want to.
I feel like the first
What
thing.
in the hell is she talking about? Is there a question here? Or she's just talking about her life.
I thought of is you need to downsize. Have you looked for another apartment, maybe something more affordable?
So I have, and I just feel like to give up. So I have my own apartment currently, and I have tried to. I've looked into downsizing,
Mm-hmm.
but it just hasn't really like nothing is really.
I don't know how New York real estate and et cetera is going. I do know that it's expensive and that people that make like 200K plus live in apartments. I have heard that with New York. Apartments that they don't own, like Seinfeld. But why would you say downsize without knowing the size that she's already? This is not good advice.
In New York City, or you decide to live in a borough you don't want to live in necessarily, or in a neighborhood that you don't particularly love, but the rent is more affordable. That
Okay. So listen to Obsidian and all the whole winter is coming crowd. Notice how her suggestion wasn't find a man and go to the negotiating table. I'm telling you, the negotiating table is the last resort. And for many women, they will literally resort to living in their car, in a homeless shelter, et cetera, before they go to that table. She didn't say anything about, find an average guy with below average height and allow him to bend you over the couch while y'all share an income. That was never a suggestion. They'll downsize apartments. They'll find roommates. They will live 6 to a 2-bedroom like immigrants. They will do a lot before all that. Oh, okay. $1,000 a month for a 1-bedroom is not bad.
at your space, then there's no going out. Maybe maybe I get another car. Maybe I give up my car and take public transport.
They'll rather be like in a cheap ghetto apartment with, you know, and I got a feeling that New York roaches is bigger than regular roaches. With New York roaches and Mr. Splinter type or Master Splinter type rats, you know, they will rather live there. They would rather live in the sewer with the turtles before they come to the table with you. These dudes that are waiting for winter, hoping. Listen, do I wait for free water for my lawn? In California, we have droughts, and you can't water your lawn during the summer, during some summers, which means that your lawn turns brown. Now you could water, you just gotta like recycle the water. So if you take a bath, you could take the bath water and go out and sprinkle it. I don't do that. My uncle does that. I don't do that. So I look for winter. I look forward to winter for that reason. It's free water for the grass. These to wait to wait until winter, hoping that a chick that looks like this will give you some. That is the lowest of the low.
Be sacrificed so you can release that stress and think clearly. About your next steps.
Okay. Okay. I feel like that makes a lot.
She probably makes below what she needs to make to live in the area. I mean, I don't the advice that there's not really enough information. You know, like Kevin Samuels, he used to ask like a lot of very poignant questions before he gave advice. You know, what's the average income of the area that you live in? You know, how much do you make, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. She just said that, you know, you need to downsize your apartment. We don't know what size apartment she is. Her apartment could be like the downest there is.
You're very overwhelmed. Yeah.
Very.
So you need to think.
Okay. And yeah, and that's the thing too. I see like the chat saying like, yeah, and that's the thing too. Like I went from being able to get 2-3 jobs like easy. Now it's like everywhere for side hustles. So if y'all know any, please. So
all the things that they would rather do than Obsidian. They are listing all of the things that they would rather do than Obsidian. This is the saddest thing ever. And this is to the whole Winter is Coming crew. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. But this is the whole this is to the whole Winter is Coming crew. Like, yeah, I'm looking for some side hustles, and the table don't exist to them. Stop thinking you're gonna bring these bras to the table because of hard economic times.
You know, some Amazon. You know, if you really want to get that coin, Amazon, working retail, something, a day trade. I'm working as a center.
Why are you saying these things not knowing what her job is? What if she already works at a call center and day trading? Are you kidding me? So a person with no money should trade the money with the money that she don't have. I think these bras just like are saying buzzwords at this point. I'm a day trader. Oh, you're a professional gambler. No, I'm a day trader. So you purchase stocks and options, right? Yeah. And you're certain that these stocks and options are going to generate revenue. Well, nothing is certain, so you're gambling. I'm not saying people shouldn't day trade. I'm saying that broke people should not risk their all in a stock market that they know nothing about. That's what I'm saying. Like, if she actually was savvy in that way and talented in that way, she would have done it by now. So you're telling a person who don't really know what they're doing to grab a copy of the Wall Street Journal, open it up to the NASDAQ, smash a roach with it, and wherever the roach splatter goes is the stocks that you buy. That's what you're saying. Jesus, she was just, this is crap advice.
If you don't want to leave your home. Yes.
Driving is leaving your home, and we don't know if she's a delivery driver. Why is she giving her advice? She's just like listing occupations, some that she may or may not qualify for, because she might not have a car. She most certainly didn't pass the Series 7 yet. Why is she just like, and she don't even know if the woman already works in a call center. God.
Okay.
Overnight jobs, a server.
Okay. All right.
Digital marketing.
Buzzwords.
It's hard out here, y'all. All right. But I should thank you. Thank you for your time. I'm definitely going to take all this in.
That wasn't even advice, or she wasn't even asking a question. She just went up to just tell her how hard life is.
Into consideration. And thank you so much.
You're welcome, darling. Have a good evening. Bye. Yeah, that will be my suggestion. If the rent is stressing you out, it's time to downsize. And I think what happens, and I'm
Notice how when she said downsize, it wasn't reduce hair, eyelashes, and nails. No, you have to eat less food. Actually, she didn't say that either, but she said, no, give up your car.
I'm going to tell you guys through experience, it's just when you're making money and you're growing, I do understand as you're making money, you also kind of want to open up your lifestyle. But I say, wait, don't buy the new car just yet. Don't buy the new home just yet.
Why are you making suggestions not knowing if this woman has a car? This is bad. Like, I thought Kendra D was bad. All of these wannabe Kevin Samuels broads, they are just really, 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 really bad advice givers.
The brakes. I would say give it another year. Don't jump in and buy a new home and new car. I know you're making more money now. I get that. But give it a second. Give it a second. Don't jump and buy new bags, new shoes, new car, new this, new that. Do not jump and buy a bunch of new things. Slow down. Let your income build. Okay? Sit on it. Invest in things to make you, that will help you make more money. Before you jump and buy a new vehicle, be responsible.
Invest in things that'll make you more money, like a home. You're stupid.
Because something can be here today and gone tomorrow. So you want to make sure you have at least that money saved, or if something goes left for the next 12 months. I think I can still do that because I didn't like upgrade. I'm still at the same level, but I'm just making more money. I think that's the best way to do it. Just hold your horses. Enjoy it. Enjoy the money. Don't go from spending, $4,000, $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month to paying $3,500 a month. And then something goes left, and now you're like, oh, wait, hold on. Where am I going to get this money from?
Okay, so don't really know what to say about that. Let's see what Danica Marie has to say. I'm curious because she's pointing to. Now I gotta go. So come with me for my 1:00 show, and we're going to talk about once again this H-1B price hike that they're doing. So for those of you who don't know, Donald Trump signed an executive order over the weekend stating that corporations, if you will not have to pay $100,000 per year for H-1B visas. Now, for those of you who don't know, which I didn't know, before they just had to pay $1,000 for the visa itself. So they have increased the price by 100 times that on a yearly basis. So yeah, we're going to talk about the impact that Theo Woff and I are going to talk about the impacts of that on the financial community. Stay tuned for that. And outside of that, I want to thank everybody that participated. See you then. This is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.